Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, Oklahoma. Sorry for that little mess up at the beginning there. We were experiencing a little bit of difficulty. Travis was on for a second, but then we both dropped off, and he dropped off and hasn't returned yet. But as you guys notice, we're doing the show on a Monday. And this is because of our Travis and my work schedule. So we're going to be experimenting for a couple of weeks here. There might be a little bit of bumpy spots as far as when we can do the show and stuff like that. But we're trying to work it out so that Mondays will be the day we will be interviewing guests. But the one thing I want to do is I got some great news earlier today. It appears that I have won $1.5 million in the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. Isn't that great? And I at the time I couldn't take care of it because I was in the middle of working and stuff like that. But I told them I'd be calling them back at 6 p.m. Central Time, which that's the time now. And so I wanted to call them and claim this money. And I'm going to do it right in front of all of you guys because I know you guys want to join in my in my blessings of winning this money. And it's quite amazing that I won this money because of the fact that I've never entered in a Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. So, you know, this does come as a great shock to me. But let's see. I'm going to dial them up right now and see how I can get this money. Be great. Let's see. It's down right now. Come on. I hope I'm not going to have trouble with this. One of the problems I may run into is my studio may not work too well because I'm on the phone at the same time, and this Loves does not have internet access.
The Text Now subscriber you are trying to reach is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hello, this here is Joseph Jones. You guys called me earlier about winning a sweepstakes, and I was just calling back to find out how I can claim this. If you would, please give me a call. Thank you. That didn't work too well, did it? But of course, as you guys probably know, I'm going to have a little bit of fun with them. Let me try something else here. Figures, you know, when I'm trying to do this on the air to show you guys what I do, I get these scammers all the time, and sometimes I like to have fun with them, you know, keep them on the air and keep them busy and stuff like that. And, you know, and one of my goals was one day to be able to do it, you know, on the air and be able to expose what they are really trying to do. The sweepstakes thing, from the little bit of time I was able to talk to them, I was going to be giving them $499.99 using MoneyGram, and in return I was going to get $1.5 million, which seems like a real good deal if you really were going to get that $1.5 million. Of course, the whole idea is you're never going to get that money. You'll give them the $499.99, but you won't get the $1.5 million back. Welcome to the show, Travis.
Hey. This is a rare thing. Not only are we starting our show today, but I think for the first time since I've been with this company, I'm actually got loaded and now unloading in the evening time.
I'm glad you're having fun.
Fun?
Yeah, today was not such a great day for me.
I'm glad I didn't have to tarp this load. It's 103 degrees out here. Down here in Midland, Odessa, the great state of Texas.
Great state. No, I already announced the great state when we started the show.
No,
have I ever
that's
told
the
y'all
medium
that
great.
when God blessed America, He created Oklahoma?
And then He took that blessing away. There you go.
What? Nah, He hasn't done that. In fact, we may be blessed even more, because we will end up with a libertarian governor.
Oh, we're doing the name it and claim it now?
That's right.
Well, I've been stuck in Oklahoma for the last 34 hours up there in OKC, and I tell you what, man, I almost vomited sitting in the McDonald's up there at the Pilot, watching TV and listening to those political ads. I'm telling you, if Oklahoma does not win a libertarian governor after watching those public ads, let me tell y'all, I will never step foot again in Oklahoma. I mean, I watched those ads, man. I watched those ads. One ad for mayor, I think it was. I will stop Obamacare. You're a mayor of Oklahoma City. How are you going to stop anything?
Really? I mean, as far as the states go, they've done all they can do to stop what they could. That's it. No. They can actually. I believe the states can still nullify. They just won't take that into their. I believe state legislators can go into session and nullify the law. There you go. Well, you can do that, but if you don't pay the taxes, state only has so much force, and that's really the only part of Obamacare, as far as I know, that is really in effect right now, is the taxes. You can't, and paying the sorry people, but you guys are paying taxes on life-saving equipment to pay for Obamacare, and that there's no way of undoing that except through Congress. So if you have a loved one or if you end up seriously sick and you need those life-saving equipment, you're going to pay the taxes on it. That drives up the cost, of course.
Or we can do an Article 5 amendment and just turn around and tell the federal government you no longer have power over the health care. Get out of it.
Yeah, but what's the chance of that happening? People
not with these.
Too dependent.
Not with these. Not with these.
People can do. Yeah. Well, the states could go in there and do an Article 5, but that ain't going to happen. As far as that goes.
Yeah, but do we really want them to? Really go in there and do an Article 5 convention and come out as a communist country.
Yeah. Yep. Sadly,
in the middle of a
true.
civil war.
Which is why I'm not totally on board with the Article 5 convention that they're trying to do. Because I'm like, man, there's just a way too many. I mean, states act tough. You got states that act tough. You do have some states that, as far as states go in today's world, do a pretty good job trying to keep the federal government out as much as possible. But overall, the states are way too dependent and slaves to the federal government.
And that's what they wanted. That's what the whole thing was, is to enslave the populace to the government.
Mm-hmm. It's like, the very first interview I did with Rex Lawhorn, that subject came up. And Rex Lawhorn, when I asked him about the 10th Amendment, he did bring up something that is sadly true. And that is, that it would be extremely, extremely hard, if not nearly impossible, with the way the people and the states, because both are guilty. The voters are guilty too. Of totally.
No, they're not. They're
going
innocent.
back to totally going with the 10th Amendment, following the 10th Amendment. And that sadly is the truth, and something that we will be wrestling with.
Well, I think on the
forever.
second, I think on the second interview with Rex, I asked Rex. I think it was Rex. It might have been another one. I asked him, "Do you think the American people could handle pure liberty in today's world?" No, it wasn't. I don't think it was Rex. I think it was a congressman. I can't remember. But I asked them if they thought that America could handle the pure liberty that libertarianism offers, today.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they could, and he agreed. I don't think people can handle the liberty afforded to them to make their own decisions. They've been taught all their lives from cradle to grave on how to think, what to think, and everything. The only choice they get is either going shopping at the supermarket or a brand new car, and they still regulate that choice.
Yep. Yeah, and sadly that is true, and why it is so hard to. And in doing that, with today's generation, everyone today has been raised with the government one way or another. The government being in our lives, and that's one of the things that us libertarians, are having trouble with selling the freedom, because true liberty is scary to a lot of people.
Yeah, I got into a discussion with a woman the other day. She said that the Libertarian Party doesn't support her interests, and I said, "What interests are those?" And she started going into food stamps and how at one time women were property, or were considered property and not individuals. They couldn't vote. And I said, well, how do libertarians, I said, except for maybe the welfare part, I said, everything else the libertarian support. And she still argued with me about it.
Yeah. That is one of the things that's irritating. Unfortunately, you missed the show with Larry Sharp. But that's one of the things I was telling Larry Sharp. Some of the people he gets in an interview with, some of these hosts and stuff like that, I feel like going through this, reaching through my computer screen and choking the host. Because, one of the things is we hear so much of the misinformation of what libertarians stand for. And you and I have been doing show after show after show on, the whole thing and going on all these groups that we go on. And it's just amazing, the misinformation. I mean, where that woman got the information that libertarians are going to take us back to, when women were property, I have no idea. That's a new one on me. I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah. I was like, how do you figure that?
I mean, was she tying the food stamps with women and going back in slavery? Because if that's true, then she's a sexist. She believes that women need food stamps. They can't survive on their own.
Yeah. That's what I figure.
That's crazy. Women, you can live without the government. I mean, talk about, women being in slavery. I mean, there was a time when, women did have it a lot harder on their own, and they were pretty much having to be, with a man to, be able to survive because women didn't get the same jobs. They didn't get the same pay. They, wouldn't that be the case now if women could not survive without the government assistance? I mean, aren't you pretty much putting yourselves back into that position of, have to be with a man, in this case, the government?
Well, I want to go a little step further. So you cannot survive on your own unless the federal government enslaves the rest of the population to pay for your welfare.
Well, sadly, there are some people that don't mind that.
Well, she didn't mind it because when I asked her about it, I did ask her. I said, "So
yeah.
you don't have a problem conscripting others to pay for your stuff?" She said, "No."
Yeah. Sadly, there are people like that. I would have taken it further and told her, hey, so you're telling me that women cannot survive without daddy government? That you have to be supported by the government to survive? That's sad. That's terrible that you're such a slave. I really feel sorry for you because of the fact that you are enslaved to a man. And you depend on that man to take care of you all the time without any help. I mean, without that man always being there for you, you cannot. You'll die. That's terrible. I'm so sorry for you that you're back in the 40s, the 30s, or whatever era that women were slaves to men. That's how you have to get their thinking. Is you have to make them realize that they did not move forward.
Yeah. I said, and I tried to explain to them, the Libertarian Party is not trying to take your rights away. They're trying to give you your rights back.
Yeah.
But those same rights are afforded to everybody across the board.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I deal with a lot, is to get people to, realize that you have to give up control over other people to have freedom.
You have to give up
and
the protected class to have liberty for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, and also you can't go around, telling government, hey, you need to regulate this. Hey, you need to control this. Hey, you need to ban this. Man, you need to. You can't be just because you're against something doesn't mean that you have to force it on someone else to not do it.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem we're having across the country, but especially in states like New York, California, Illinois, is, the fact that people feel like you have to regulate, that the government needs to be there to regulate everything.
No, well, she wasn't just that, but she also said this, and when she said this, I quoted one of the founding fathers. She said she needed protection and security. And I said, oh, here we go. I said, those who choose liberty over security deserve neither liberty or security. And you know what her reply was?
What?
She goes, I guess I hate the founding fathers as well.
Yeah. She sounds like a full-grown liberal there. Yeah, that's a quote I use quite often. I don't quote it word for word, but I always make the reference to, do you want liberty or do you want security? You can't have both.
Give me liberty or give me death. That's what I say. I'd rather die a free man than die a slave.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's pretty much what we are today. One meme I love, I need to look it up and post it on my Oklahoma Tomcat page, is one that says, I have, in America we have freedom, and I have all the licenses to prove it.
Yep.
But sadly, that's the truth. I mean, in some states it's worse than others. I mean, New York, you can't do someone's hair without a license. You can't drive a cab without having a token from the city.
Yeah. It's a fight, man. I tell you. It's a fight getting it out there. People don't want to listen to liberty, man. They just want to know what the government can do for them.
Yep. And I believe it was Benjamin Franklin that said once people realize they can vote for money, there ends the republic.
Yep.
And, yep, the republic has ended. Because, because actually, I mean, we are kind of like in between a democracy, which is dangerous, and an oligarchy. I truly believe we're moving right into an oligarchy right now.
I think we're moving into something far worse, but nobody listens to me.
What's that?
Full-blown socialism. And then into communism.
We've been socialists for a long time.
Yeah, but
socialism isn't a form of government. It's actually a form of economy. Yeah, we are a socialist, no doubt on that. Because and I've had that debate with a lot of people, because a lot of people say we're capitalists, and I'm like, no, we're not. We're not capitalists. We're socialists. And they'll always bring up, no, it's when I list all the things that the government controls, when it comes to our economy, they always say, oh no, that's crony capitalism. And I'm like, crony capitalism is a word that people use when they don't want to admit that we're actually a socialist. I mean, socialism is crony capitalism. I mean, in a sense, really.
Yeah, you can't debate people with logic nowadays.
No. And communism, I mean, I tell you the truth, and I got a real big debate with someone. on the subject of moral laws. Actually, the whole debate was on moral laws, different topic, but I did kind of, it did kind of go into communism a little bit, with the way I was thinking of moral laws. When you look at moral laws, someone's trying to say that rights come from moral laws. And the whole subject was, do you need a God to have natural rights? And I was like, not a God. I mean, yes, I do believe in God, people. I do believe in God, so we're not going to get into debate. But something I always do is I kind of step away from, kind of speak the language of everyone in the group. That's what I do. So I was like, not a God, because, I mean, everybody has morals, all right, whether they're good or bad. But you do need a creator to have natural laws. Because get this, for natural rights, is what I meant. You need a creator for natural rights. For natural rights, something that comes natural, something had to have created it, and some had to have created us with these rights. Otherwise, those rights come from human. All right, and then somebody stepped in and said, "No, you don't need a creator, because rights are from morals." And I was like, whoa, no, that's dangerous. Because we all have morals. Our morals are actually something that is from our beliefs. And we got into I started listing the rights, and one of the rights I listed was the Second Amendment. I was like, that's not moral. Actually, to many Christians, shooting someone, even in self-defense, is taught as something that that's not moral. You're not supposed to do that, because you're not supposed to treasure your own life. That's why you do have people who are Christian who refuse to have a gun for self-protection, but have it for hunting, but not self-protection. There are Christians who defend themselves.
Yeah, and then you have Jeffrey Dahmer, who had the moral right to eat people.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to make an argument that our rights come from morals, then get rid of the Second Amendment, right? And let's also go further, because communism is actually, by theory, if you look at what communism is, it's moral, because you're not supposed to have if you make lots of money, you're supposed to be sharing that with the needy, right? Communism is perfect. Then you're not supposed to own lots of land. Come on now, it's moral to give part of your land. If you have excess land, to give it to someone else, right? That's a moral thing to do.
Yeah, Ted Bundy was moral and gave people death.
And also, how about tasers? Is that moral? Let's put a little bit in for truckers' defense. If it's against your morals to shoot someone and kill them, then how about having a taser? A taser is a non-lethal way of being able to defend yourselves, to stop an attacker without killing them. And both Travis and I do carry tasers, and we both got our tasers from Truckers Defense. That's truckers-defense.com. Go there, check out and they don't only have tasers. They also have stun guns. They also have lots of different things. You also can find them on Facebook. What's their Facebook page there, Travis?
Truckers Defense.
Okay. Just all one word?
It's all separate words. Truckers Defense Product.
Okay, there you go. Truckers Defense Products. You can check them out on Facebook, and feel free to talk to them. They're great people, and you will find some great products there at a reasonable price. So check them out, and let them know that you heard about them on Political TNT. So, that's a moral way of handling self-defense. When we come back, we're going to talk about some ranting by Trump. He's ranting.
The Liberty National Network.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. But every driver seeks the pinnacle of their achievements. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
You may have doubts about healthcare sharing. I know we did. We studied literature about Samaritan Ministries, but we feared that it was just too risky. Instead, as our health insurance premiums went up each year, we would increase our deductible to reduce the premium. And then the inevitable happened. We had to use our insurance. We had a medical need that included tests, doctor visits, and even outpatient surgery treatment that totaled over $7,000, and it was all out of pocket. It took us 3 years to pay off, even after several of our healthcare providers reduced their charges. And we finally took a leap of faith and joined Samaritan.
Each month, we get to give to an actual person with a medical need. We pray for them and put them in the hands of the Lord for physical, emotional, and financial strength and healing. There's no way to fully express that pleasure and joy. During the first year we were members, we had a medical need, and it was all provided for. And the strength, peace, and healing from prayer.
Last year, our son was injured on a mission trip, 1,200 miles from home. And the bills for the emergency room, doctors, stitches, and prescriptions totaled $5,300. But every last cent was provided for. In fact, last year we had 2 more needs, and each time our Samaritan family came through.
I worked in healthcare for 10 years, from front desk through billing. I would recommend Samaritan instead of any insurance product out there. Insurance has no assurances. In fact, it seems everything is written in such a way that there will be no assurance at your time of need. We just wish that we had trusted in God's provision sooner.
It is such a blessing to come alongside our brothers and sisters in Christ and share in each other's healthcare burdens. And there's such a peace and joy knowing that God is answering our prayers, bringing healing and providing for our needs.
Hi, I'm Eric, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on natural rights versus entitlements.
America was founded on the idea that human beings are born with natural rights, such as the rights to life, liberty, and property. A person who holds this view of rights makes no demands on others except that they respect those rights. Today, however, many Americans talk about rights to a college education, state-of-the-art medical care, and even birth control pills. These are rights understood as entitlements, and a person who holds this view of rights, far from making no demands on other people, is making claims on other people's money and resources. This understanding of rights not only sets citizens against each other, but it undermines the whole idea of natural rights.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket Constitution and Declaration, go to constitutionminute.com.
Miss Producer is also known as Miss Giggles. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. If you want to be part of the show, dial 914-338-1906 and then press 1.
All right, we're back. I had a little problem with the studio. Are you back there, Travis?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Yeah, I had a bad feeling that was going to happen because, unfortunately, I'm where I don't have access to Wi-Fi. So what I'm doing is I'm tethering from the phone. But sometimes since I'm on the phone, the tethering ends up getting bogged down. So I am currently trying to get us back up. Right now I'm doing the studio through the phone, which that won't last too long either. But until we have the problem again, let's get back with the show. And that's it's funny that that commercial about natural rights came on from our one of our commercials there, and we were just talking about natural rights. And that's one of the things that that woman was feeling is that, you know, that she has rights to these entitlements.
Yeah, people think they have they have rights to other people's income. I told her, I said, you don't have any right to my labor. Period. Nobody does. I don't know where the world has come up with this. You don't have any rights at all to my labor. Well, the social contract, I never signed no social contract. You want to tell me, where's the social contract at? I ain't never seen no contract. I didn't sign no contract.
But you don't understand that, Travis. And let me be the one to set you straight there. By you being born in the United States, you were forced into the social contract.
I don't see no social contract by our founding fathers. They didn't write no social contract. All they did was write a constitution, and I didn't see no contract in there either, did I?
It was a contract through your actions of being born in the United States. You shouldn't have been born in the United States if you didn't want to be in a contract.
They better show me this contract. That's what I'm saying. I want to see the.
It's totally nuts.
I need to see this contract.
But what's this rant that Travis? See, I'm already calling you president. That Trump is on.
Oh yeah, I guess natural rights. I tell you. You know, ESPN and ABC. I think it was ABC or one of them other broadcast TV stations. They're refusing, especially ESPN. But they're all decided they're not going to play. They're not going to show the national anthem during their broadcast of the football games. And so Trump has got out there ranting about it.
Man, I guess everything else is taken care of then. Our debt is gone. We're not having any issues with any countries. We're everything on the federal level must be all taken care of and solved now. That he can worry about, broadcasters playing the televising the national anthem during sport.
Well, Trump, I have one thing for you.
I say I'm too late. Got nothing in my brain.
Nothing in your brain.
Well, I had some milk for
Trump, you stay on Twitter too late, and you're nothing in your brain.
Yeah,
like I said, he's ranting about a private company, a private entity, which those broadcast stations, I'd have to look, but they probably receive government funds somewhere. So that would make them public. If you receive public funds, you're public.
Yeah.
In any form or fashion, if you receive public funds, you're public. If you receive them from the government.
I wish it would that would actually be an actual law. Because I do look at it that way too. I mean, if you, in fact, that was brought up in the Oklahoma debate, about what are they called? Adoption agencies not adopting out to homosexual couples, and people were up in arms over it and stuff like that. And the issue evolved around Christian adoption agencies not doing it. Okay, there was no issue with the government-run ones, in which that they said Christian organizations that adopt out can choose who they can and can't do, as long as they don't receive public funds. See, that's the key. Just like Travis said, if you receive public funding, you kind of got to follow the laws that the federal government says. But Trump, come on. I mean, he has every right to say whatever he wants. He does. And if he wants to rant about it, he can. But you know what's cool about freedom of speech? Travis and I get to smash him for it too.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people, and I've been seeing this too. Apparently, some judge declared that anything Trump says on Twitter is an official statement.
Oh,
What?
Chris Cuomo of CNN said that same thing. He kind of, in a roundabout way, he did. Yeah, we played that on the show also. And for a judge to say that, wow. Where'd the judge get his information from?
Yeah, so
why wasn't this a big deal when Obama was in office? Because Obama did the same thing. I mean, I followed Obama on Twitter. I mean, granted, all of them weren't coming from Obama himself, but because he had this nonprofit organization that his Twitters were handled by too. But I mean, he made public. How about when a president makes a statement in public? Is that official government statement?
I guess so. I guess every time I guess the president, the new standard is whatever a president says at any time is an official statement.
Man. Oh, man. That's dangerous. I mean, because the president that first started this out, I'd have to say we started when Obama was in office. Started the whole social media, everything, was tweeted or Facebooked out whenever or whatever.
Yeah, Obama even started WhiteHouse.gov so that way you could actually go in and petitions.
Yep, and even that Twitter page, POTUS, that there was started with Obama. And now
now we got POTUS, and now we got SCOTUS and Scrotum.
Well, SCOTUS has been around,
Scrotum.
But how about what's the First Lady's Twitter handle now? FLOTUS, wasn't it? FLOTUS. That was started with
FLOTUS?
Obama. Yeah.
FLOTUS. Yeah, you know what? I feel like I'm just being teabagged all over the place. I mean, we got so many FLOTUS and POTUS and SCOTUS, and it's just like, God dang, man. FBI, CIA. We got acronyms for everybody now. We need to come up with our own acronym now. Oh, we do. PTT.
Well, ours is PTAT.
Yeah.
PTAT. That's it. P-tat.
Patat, patat, patat. That sounds like a gun. Patat, 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 patat. Hey, man, you listen to P-tat? Who? P-tat. Political TNT, P-tat.
Patat. Hey, that sounds pretty cool. I like that.
Politics. Patat.
Patat.
Patat. Catch you on P-tat, man. We don't have to get us some hats made that say hashtag P-tat.
On this whole thing with the national anthem, you know, I know I've said this many times, and I don't know if we've ever discussed it on since we've started the show back up. But this whole thing with national anthem, you know, I beat up on both sides on it. You know, because on one side, what does it really matter? I mean, is it really, really, really that serious of a issue to where we have to get all worked up and start crying about, you know, people not saying or singing the national anthem, people kneeling during it, people, you know, at the end of the day, really, what's the big deal? Maybe it's because I don't look at tiny things as being, you know, something to get worked up over. There's enough in life to worry about, you know, without have to get all worked up over this, you know. So, you know, for that, Republicans, I say, come on, chill out, you know.
And if you're a Christian
and
if you're a Christian and you're worshiping that flag and all that stuff, and this is getting you, that is your God. The Bible. The Bible says not to do that stuff. The Bible says you're a citizen. Oh, you're a citizen of heaven, not a citizen of this world. So quit bowing down and worshiping the flag.
We're only passing through this. You know, this government really isn't ours. I mean, yes, the Bible says, you know, to, you know, follow the law of the lands, except when they contradict God. You know, if the government tells us not to read the Bible and stuff like that, yes, we are to go against that. But, you know, at the end of the day, to all Christians, we're just visitors here. That's what we are. We're all immigrants. You know, because our king is Jesus Christ, you know. But now, on that same subject, though, also, here's something else for even the non-Christians on the Republican side. Does forcing people to respect the flag make them a good patriot? Take a look at history around the world. Does it make them a good... China tried it. They had a huge rebellion. You know, lots of people, you know...
They want to be like Korea.
I mean, there was a lot of Chinese who were arrested, who were killed, who protested openly in the streets as the government tried to force them to be good patriots. Didn't work. It's not going to work here, people. You cannot force someone to be a good patriot. All right? Even if I was for, you know, this whole, you know, national anthem, pledge allegiance, you know, doing the whole act of being a patriot, I would be against forcing anyone who wants to kneel to stand. I'd be against it. Because for us to have our freedom, we have to allow others to have it. And let me tell you guys, for those of you who don't know, I'm a veteran. All right? But I did not fight to force people to love this country or to love the flag or even respect the flag. Somebody came up to me and asked me, how do you feel about burning the flag? I was like, it's a symbol. If someone wants to burn it, they can burn it as long as they're not endangering anyone else. You know, Same thing. In fact, I told them I look at it the same way as burning the cross. Yes, even the cross. I'm a Christian.
I had someone say, well, you know how I feel about the cross, burning the cross, anyways. You white supremacist. I don't care if you burn the cross. I don't care if you burn a picture of fake Jesus on it. I don't care if you burn. There's one guy. I did say this to one guy one time. I had someone guy who goes, "Oh, how would you feel if I burnt the Bible?" And I said, "Well, how do you feel if I burnt the Quran?" And they just kind of looked at me.
And as far as that answer goes, burn it. Burn the Bible. I mean, you're not going to burn mine because then that would be stealing from me and destroying my property. But yeah, go ahead.
And then you'll have to. Well, basically, you burn my stuff, then you'll face the consequences of it. You know, I will watch you flop around. You know? I will watch you flop around on the ground like a fish out of water.
Yeah. How did I feel about the artist that had the cross and Jesus in a jar of urine? I thought it was quite disrespectful, but hey, you know, that's his freedom. You know, that's his freedom, people. That's these athletes' freedom.
Or what about that play they had going on, Jesus Christ Superstar?
Yeah. You know, people just say stuff to get worked up over. It is, and you can't force people to love what you love and cherish what you cherish. And you cannot force people to have respect for what you hold valuable in your life. You can't
and
do
you know
it.
what?
So don't
and
try.
That's the same. Yeah, that's the same message that Islam needs to understand too. Okay.
Yeah.
If someone burns the Quran, don't get all fluffy about it. You know. So what?
Yeah.
There's 1,000 more. There's. Now, if they would go on a Bible burning crusade and they're hunting them down, then I would have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But just think, they had to go buy that Bible that they burnt.
Now,
So
if the government, right on that same line, let's say the government went around and confiscated all the Bibles, yeah, then I'd be speaking out because number one, that's the government doing it. Government doesn't have the right to do that, and number two, you know, now it is pretty much a war against Christians and the government. Yeah, that would be a issue. But
which that's coming.
Come on.
Eventually, that's coming.
Get a hold of this here, Travis. These people are getting worked up over NFL players kneeling. I mean, do we really look to the NFL like that? I mean, that makes it even funnier is the fact that we're really holding the NFL as some kind of patriot, you know, symbol or, you know, gods or something, you know, that we must look up to.
Yeah, you know what's funny though is it's the same people. The people who are complaining about it are the same people who complain that the NFL is making millions of dollars. NFL players making millions of dollars while their soldier son is making less than minimum wage. Yeah. Why are you even watching it? I mean, if y'all don't like it, why are you even watching it anymore? That's because y'all like the drama. And don't worry, we like watching y'all throw fits over everything because it gives us something to talk about on our show. I mean, if y'all didn't throw fits and complain and whine, we wouldn't have nothing to make fun of. We'd be a boring show.
We probably wouldn't be picked up on as many podcasts as we are now.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's also, you know, we love making fun of you guys and stuff like that. You know, on both sides, both of you guys are really hilarious on on all this.
Oh,
because
especially the liberals.
And which we got to talk about next. Now I've explained about the. My wife is trying to call me. Oh man. Let's see. I'll call you back later. Sorry, hon. I do have to. But I know I shouldn't hang up on my wife, should I?
He's in trouble.
Oh, she said okay. All right. She still got to get used to the new show schedule. Okay, we beat up on the Republicans about the whole kneeling of the national anthem. Now let's pick on the Democrats on their side of this.
Well, we got to wait.
Idiots.
We got about 2 minutes left. We can't beat up on them too hard.
Oh,
we only got 2 minutes left.
Oh man! In that case, let's talk about something that everyone should be drinking while watching the NFL kneel, and that is Earth water. If you go to earthwater.com/PTAT, yep, that's our acronym, PTAT. That's Papa Tango Alpha Tango. Go there and you will get a discount on Earth water. Earth water has lots of minerals, so that it's a great way to hydrate. While you're out there sitting at in the standing for the national anthem, because you should be standing while the NFL players are kneeling. And you can drink your Earth water so that you'll stay calm, that you'll get all your 70-plus trace minerals, and you'll be well hydrated. So, because dehydration does cause us to have a short temper. But go to earthwater.com/PTAT and get your discount on the best water out there. And I got to go back to the studio here. Where's the studio? And we will be back after these announcements. We'll talk a little bit more about the Democrats' side of this, just so we can be fair. And we will talk about John McCain. Everybody now stand.
The Liberty National Network.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Horses are non-threatening. They're a majestic, magnificent creature. We see guys and gals find a great sense of inner peace and calmness as they start listening to the breathing of the horse, and they start grooming the horse, and they start being around the horse as much. Something magical starts happening with that connection that's hard to actually put into words, but it's palpable. You can feel it. You can feel that connection.
My name is Sterling Buckles, and I was a Lance Corporal with 2nd Battalion, 1st Marines, and I was injured in Operation Iraqi Freedom. I was actually hit in the head by a sniper bullet that penetrated through my helmet and collapsed the right side of my skull, and it was just a blessing that that I survived it and got medevaced right away to Baghdad, where there was an army brain surgeon gave me brain surgery to take all the fragments of the skull out of my brain and then put in 2 titanium plates. Coming back, I was diagnosed pretty much right away with 100% PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And so, to say the least, life has been really difficult. Horses for Heroes program has been a real blessing to my life, to where now I feel like I have more of a purpose. That's a big thing coming back, is you were so important while you were serving in the military that you come back and you don't feel like you really have a purpose anymore in life, or that you're really behind the other 20-something-year-old people that, had done other choices with their lives. If I come down here and I feel really anxious and just filled with anxiety and nervous, and I spend a little bit of time with the horse, it seems like the horse calms me down and my anxiety level just starts to really drop. So you're not really caring about yourself the whole time, but you're caring about something else. Really kind of gives me a good sense of accomplishment, and at the end of the day you're tired, but it's a good tired.
Hi, I'm Corinne, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on the threat of bureaucratic despotism.
One of the chief sponsors of the Dodd-Frank Finance Reform Bill called that legislation, quote, about as important as it gets, because it deals with every single aspect of our lives, end quote. And how does this legislation deal with every aspect of our lives? In the most unconstitutional way. It sets up a board called the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which has the power to regulate our economic transactions independently of both the President and Congress. In other words, permanent government employees are placed in charge of us beyond the control of those we elect, the control of we the people. This is a violation of the representative form of government, without which there can be no constitutional government.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket constitution and declaration, go to constitutionminute.com.
The Liberty National Network.
Travis Pope may sound like a big bad gorilla, but he is really a big cuddly teddy bear. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. If you want to be part of the show, dial 914-338-1906 and then press 1.
All right, welcome back to Political TNT.
Hey, I want to say something before we start on the liberals. I want to say something. Hey, audience, everybody that listens to our show, you notice how when his wife called, he got all flustered and he was like, "Oh no!" That's I'm going to tell you the reason why he got scared all of a sudden. Okay, she uses that iron skillet on him.
Now wait till stories like that.
She uses it regularly. That's why he's a libertarian now, because she told him about libertarianism. He said, well, I don't know. She pinged him in the head with the iron skillet. He said, okay.
Now, what are you guys telling stories like that for? I mean, we're supposed to be a credible broadcast, and here you are.
You are fake news.
Man, see, it's people like Travis, that's going to end up getting us all regulated and have to report what our news is before we tell it, all because of that one story.
Hey, the audience heard themselves whenever you went all flustered.
And that's happened when any time my phone rings while I'm on the air. I'm a guy. I can only focus on one thing.
Only when the wife calls. Because you're in trouble.
It's happened to me before. Anyone who listens on a regular basis knows it's happened before, and not when the wife calls.
Yeah, you forget I listen to the radio show quite often.
Apparently, you forget things because if you remember, my other sister called one time during the show, and I got all distracted and everything. So.
No.
Yes.
No,
in fact, that's why I brought. In fact, that's why we had to bring her on the air. Kind of forced her on the air because she distracts us on the show. Now, Edith, on the other hand, she called Edith, and Edith, we didn't even realize it. But then again, Edith probably wasn't talking; she was probably laughing.
Well, we ought to bring your wife on the show.
Nah, I don't think so.
You're lucky I don't have her number.
Make sure ban her number from your phone. Oh.
All right.
Right.
Liberals. I know.
Now that we're done putting out fake news, let's go ahead and pick on the Democrat side of the national anthem thing. You guys are just being idiots. You guys are being jerks. And I mean, while there's nothing wrong with that, you got the freedom to be a jerk. Unfortunately.
Well, I'm a jerk, so.
You got every right to be a jerk. You got every right to get everybody worked up. You got every right to be a troll. Even though we've decided, we found out that's Travis's addiction is he's a troll. But it ain't right. It ain't right that you guys are kneeling during the national anthem. And not because the flag is something special and everybody should stand and praise it, not because everybody should be standing during the national anthem. If the national anthem is against your belief, then you should just quietly dismiss yourself.
Yeah,
stay in the dressing room. Yeah. Stay in the dressing room. Exactly. Yeah, stay in the dressing room. Don't. Listen, first of all, the protest is stupid. It has nothing to do with the way blacks are. It's not demonstrating against the way blacks are treated, the way police. Because we know how this originated. I know you guys are trying to change the story around, because you realize that your protest doesn't match what you're claiming you're protesting. Which is police brutality. But it's stupid in the first place. It is stupid. It makes no sense. You're just being jerks. And I'm going to put it out there, everybody. in our household, we don't do the Pledge of Allegiance. We don't do the national anthem. We don't do any of that stuff. But my daughter is at the age now where the things she participates in, they do that stuff. All right. She knows the Pledge of Allegiance. I've been meaning to go over it verse by verse for her just so she knows exactly what she's saying and all that and what it means. But the conversation came up because she is of that age now, about the Pledge of Allegiance and stuff. And I explained to her, the reason why we don't do it. But I also explained to her that she's when she's in these events, when she's in any of the stuff and doing all the stuff, standing there and doing it with the others, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, because it's what's in her heart that matters. But if she feels uncomfortable about doing it, if she gets to the age where she can make these decisions and she feels uncomfortable doing it because she now knows what it really, the origins of it and what it really means, then she has to excuse herself quietly. Don't make a scene. Don't be a jerk. And don't offend other people. And that's what you Democrats and you NFL players that are kneeling are doing. You're being jerks, and that's all it is, jerks. I'd be standing right with you guys in protest if what you guys were protesting was actually true, and if it matched, if your protest was peaceful and not offending other people. I mean, what happened to Martin Luther King's protests and stuff like that? Nonviolence, not being a jerk, not be, it makes no sense to me. You guys, and that's why I cannot be with you guys on this. I cannot stand with you guys. I cannot be for what you guys are doing because you're just offending people who are not doing you any wrong. Every patriot out there is not your enemy. You should not be offending them. That's my take on it.
Well, that was a mouthful.
But it irritates me. It really is.
Well, let's look back during the Obama years when the Tea Party was protesting, was holding rallies out in front of the White House. Were they doing anything that was offensive? No, they were just there protesting. Okay? Were they trashing out everything? Were they defecating on the ground and leaving their trash and everything else everywhere else? They did peaceful protesting and they cleaned up after themselves.
Yeah, see, that's how you do the protest. I mean, first of all, protest against the people that you're actually protesting against. I mean, if this was originally because of police brutality, and let me tell you something, to some degree, I am with you guys, to some degree. I don't go to the extremes like you guys do with, all police are racist. I believe very few of the confrontations are even based on racism. Tell you the truth, the people you guys need to protest is the government. Come on, join the libertarians. Because most of the police confrontations is actually because of laws made by the people you guys support, which is big government, that puts these police officers in the position of being in confrontation with people who are not even harming other people.
Exactly. I mean, You're bringing it on to, you know, you keep voting for the same people. You figured they'd finally get the idea not to do that anymore.
They're too much idiots. They're too busy being jerks. I mean, your enemies are not the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots, we have our problems with them too, but your enemies aren't with them. It's kind of like I say a lot. You know, the real problem is not the conservatives or the liberals. I mean, if personally you're a conservative or a liberal, hey, be merry. You know, the problem is when you guys, you know, go and try to have government force your beliefs on other people, and that's where the problem is. Same thing here with the you Democrats that are going after the Patriots, because that's what you're doing with this demonstration. You're going after the Patriots. And let me tell you something, Patriots are good people. They're good people. But, you know, yeah, they try to force it on us. But that's minor. Stop protesting the flag. Stop kneeling to the national anthem. If you don't want to do the national anthem, do as I told my daughter. Excuse yourself peacefully. And
yeah, but nobody wants to peacefully like that guy was talking about that called in a couple of weeks ago. They're not wanting peaceful no more. They're wanting to push us into a war.
And that is a
God dang it.
Problem with some of them. What?
Yeah. Oh, trying to get into this place and there's trucks behind me.
What place are you trying to get into? You're done with the delivery, right?
Yeah, I'm done with the delivery. I'm trying to find me a parking spot now. But everything is clogged up. You know, I'm over here in Odessa in the oil field company, and every truck stop is clogged up.
Yeah, that's an issue that we have to deal with quite often.
Yeah. But let's talk about other things on our agenda. I don't know if you touched on it while I was off.
No.
John McCain passed away. We all know that.
Oh yeah.
Songbird McCain. I said it. Songbird McCain.
And why is he called Songbird?
Well, you don't know why he's called a songbird? Or do you know you don't want me to explain it? Well, because it's a known fact that he was captured. He was a prisoner of war, and during his tortures and interrogation, he sung like a bird. They call him Songbird over it because he told secrets.
Yeah.
He told secrets.
And that's kind of mean. The military, I know this is something that we were taught during boot camp, because that's when you're taught, about, if you're ever captured in war and, what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to say and all that stuff. But, one of the things they also tell us is that the government does know that the secrets are going to be told, And this is actually one of the reasons why no one person has all the top secret information. And also why it has to be known, what clearance a person who's captured has and what information they have. Because even though you may have clearance, doesn't mean that you're suddenly given all the information. You know, you're only given what you're needed for your job. And the government will know, the big guys in the military will know, okay, this person was captured, what information do they have? And the key is to try to stay silent as long as possible. You know? Preferably remain silent, but...
Yeah, but I mean, I get apparently he gave enough information out that they charged him as a traitor, and he had to receive a pardon.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't remember which president. I have to look it up, but one of the presidents pardoned him over it.
Yeah. Which they shouldn't have even charged him for it. Because, I mean, let's face it. You know, I cannot personally say how much torture I could take. Number one, I'm allergic to pain, so, you know, just put a bunch of wasps or spiders around me and I'm going to probably sing myself.
Yeah, well, there's only one thing that'll get me to sing and tell everything, and that is if you play Barney over and over and over.
My wife would probably agree with you on that. With her,
I'll be like, you play Barney. I love you. I will sing. Sing. Turn it off. Stop. I give up.
Oh. But they shouldn't have charged him for it. I know I was told in boot camp, you know, that they know eventually, they count on the fact that eventually you will start giving information. But, you know, the whole key is to try to not to tell them, but you know, try to delay as, you know, go as long as you can. And this gives the military time to make changes, you know.
Well, apparently he didn't go as long as he can because I can't remember at all. There was a woman radio show or something like that, Chinese, Vietnamese woman or something, that was saying the secrets over the air, that, you know, coded messages, and they got it all, man. They got it all.
Yeah.
And they got all the records of it. They charged her as well. I guess I don't know what they charged her for. I mean, she was like over there, but
yeah, they couldn't have charged her for anything, but
unless they captured her and done something.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, then she's a prisoner of war, but not technically being charged for treason or anything.
No, but you know, it's a bunch of different stuff, man, and you know what? And then let's go ahead. You know, and you know. You sit there, yeah, and you'll say, well, you know, it's understandable. He was caught up and all this stuff and all that, blah 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 blah. But let's look at it. I mean, just a few years ago, under Obama's administration, right before the creation of ISIS, he was over there in the Middle East talking to terrorists. I mean, I posted the picture of it the other day. One of the guys that was in the picture was one of the heads of ISIS. So, you know, was he still a traitor back then whenever he spilled the beans when he was in POW, or was he still a traitor now whenever he was when he flew over there to Syria to talk to the rebels? That turned out to be Al-Qaeda and ISIS rebels.
Yeah, I'm doing a quick search right now on John McCain's pardon.
Oh, you want to try to verify me, see if I'm telling the truth.
I'm trying to figure out, get the information that you.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
as far as which president did it and what was it over and.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I thought you couldn't run for president if you've been pardoned.
I've never heard that. I mean, I'm sure there's certain crimes that maybe, even though you got pardoned, that maybe would prevent you from getting elected, but.
Like snitching?
Well, I wish that was one of the things, but but if that was the case, then most of our presidents wouldn't be president, would they?
Possibly. Did you figure out which one it was?
No, still searching. I'm scanning through a history website right now that's talking about him. I mean, as far as him being captured and all that, I don't look down on him for having if he was tortured. I mean, I don't know if there's any way of verifying whether he was actually tortured or whether he gave it up real easily over a woman or something like that, which then I would look down on him for. But as far as his service goes, hey, he served the country, and stuff like that. He's a veteran, fellow veteran. But how about his time in as a elected official?
Well, we know he was a crook then too.
Yeah, see, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Number one, he was for illegal wars, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, as a U.S. Senator, he voted for lots of different bills, which was grew government.
Yeah. Well, he still should be considered a traitor for what the stuff he's done in our government.
Yeah. See that? Yeah, there is where I think most of his the things that he's done bad.
Yeah.
But it is sad that anytime somebody passes away, it's So I mean, all prayers go out to his family and all.
Yeah, family. We'll pray for the family.
Yeah.
But he, I mean, he even blocked voting against Obama, the Obamacare repeal. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have no respect for the guy. Period.
Yeah, what was his excuse for doing such a thing? I mean,
what's any of their excuses?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was getting ready to get at is, what's up? Republicans acted like they were so against Obamacare, and then suddenly You know.
They love it.
Yeah.
Well,
because their king is in office. Their God is in office. That's what it is.
Yeah, that, and we can also go into the fact that Congress isn't subject to Obamacare either.
Yeah, and that there's unconstitutional. Congress is supposed to. Congress, the president, every elected official, and even non-elected officials are all supposed to be subject to the law that they pass.
Yeah, they definitely need to make that a full amendment, so that way that they're subject to it too. Make it clear. You still there?
Yep. I agree. Even though amendments shouldn't even be need. We should. That's already in the Constitution. That everyone's supposed to follow the laws. No exceptions.
Except for our overlords. Our overlords don't have to follow it.
Only us peons.
Yeah, that's the way they think,
But yeah, as a human, John McCain's passing away. Of course, it's hard for me to, feel sympathy for it or anything because I didn't know him personally, but I can only imagine, what losing him is to, family. But that's also something else I kind of and this is me, when I see, so much news and stuff about someone's passing away and stuff, and some of the people's reactions on social network over it and stuff, I'm like, I can't help but feel that that's fake. I don't know the people, so it's hard for me to, feel sad about it or anything like that. I try to have respect, but
yeah. And then what's crazy is what I'm watching now is how the Democrats are expressing how they're going to miss him and stuff. I'm like, really?
Huh?
Yeah.
Well. Hold on. Yeah, because Republicans, do kind of side on Democrats on many issues when it comes to votes. Like McCain's, with McCain with the Obamacare. Now there may be a chance that somebody is going to take over that is going to vote it out.
Yeah.
Then where are they going? Where the God's going to get their money? Because really, that's the only part of Obamacare that's still in effect is the money. All that tax dollars gone. But now what's the fight for the Senate seat?
Well, now it's up to the governor.
And what state is he from?
Arizona.
Arizona. So it's going to be a Republican.
Yeah.
I don't know about Arizona's governor, but I bet they're right now hoping that it's a liberal Republican.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it.
I shouldn't use that word. They're hoping that's a status Republican.
Yeah, right now it says Arizona governor faces intense pressure in picking McCain's successor. Rival wings of the Republican Party will be pressing Governor Doug Ducey, including factions that want him to appoint someone loyal to President Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fights are, okay, he ain't even in the grave yet, and they're already fighting.
Oh yeah. See, that's where really the sorrow of McCain passing away is. Oh, who are we gonna put in? Yeah, because Republicans do face a problem because you do have different Republicans. I mean, most Democrats are pretty much united under different things, but they pretty much circle the wagon a lot. Whereas the Republicans do get divided. You do have your libertarian-leaning Republicans, and then you have your loyal to the government Republicans. And John McCain was the loyal to the government Republican. Loyal to the party, loyal to, their God that's in office. If the Republicans are in office, they're going to worship him. If Democrats are in office, they're going to go against him, even if they're all for the same things.
Well, here's 3 names to keep an eye on. You ready?
All right.
Here's some, among the names that have been mentioned recently are Barbara Barrett, a former U.S. ambassador to Finland, and the wife of retired Intel chief executive Craig Barrett, as well as Kirk Adams, chief of staff to Mr. Ducey. A name that has been floated as a long shot is former Arizona Attorney General Grant. Oh, that would be a good one, General Grant. Woods, General Grant Woods, who was close to Mr. McCain. 3 other names have circulated: Michael Bidwell, president of the Arizona Cardinals, and Karen Taylor Robson, who runs a land use firm in Arizona, and none other than Mr. McCain's wife, Cindy.
Oh. Well, that'd be one way to keep that legacy alive, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, let's just go ahead and put another traitor in office.
Let's keep the royal family alive, right? I mean,
yeah,
make the McCains like the Bush.
Yeah, the McCain dynasty.
Yep. Sorry, our dynasty. Just like the Bushes and the Clintons.
Yeah. Well, man, if McCain would have won presidency and ran for 2 terms, he would have passed away 2 years after his presidency was up.
Yep. So, which one of those would be the more libertarian one?
I would have to look up all of them, and probably none of them, since they're on the list of Republicans.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up and see which one we would be the best of those choices as far as liberty-minded people go. I know that.
Yeah.
Not they're probably, no doubt they're all statists, but which one is the least statist? And then flood the governor's office.
Well, you know, the governor himself could appoint himself.
That would be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And really, he doesn't even have to go by that list. He could pick Joe Schmo off the street.
You know what? What if he picked Joe Araparo? Sheriff Joe.
Joe who?
Sheriff Joe.
Oh.
I don't know.
Boy,
I
he
don't
would
know how
be
to pronounce his, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but what if he picked Sheriff Joe to take his place? Oh man, Senator McCain would twist in his grave, and Trump would jump hallelujahs.
Well, I think a lot of Republicans would love that pick.
Yeah, well, some of them, but a lot of the liberals, oh man. Pick. Hey, look, I'm libertarian. You're libertarian, and it's going to be a while before we can repair this nation. So I'm just going to go pick Sheriff Joe. Pick Sheriff Joe. Because I want to watch the liberals come undone. I do.
Here.
You know, I want to see the liberals come undone if he picks Sheriff Joe.
Here we go. I'm gonna tweet that on out there. At pissed off Texan.
Oh man.
Arizona governor.
Man.
Pick
Did you find the Arizona governor on Twitter?
Nah, I gotta look for that. Governor.
His name is Governor Ducey. His name is Governor Ducey. Ducey. I guess that's how you pronounce his name.
How you spell it?
Ducey. Ducey. It's either Ducey or douche. It's probably Ducey though. Or deuce. Now watch him say, "Thank you, I will do that."
There he is. Doug Ducey.
Man, I tell you what, this freaking wind out here is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in we're in the middle of a storm. I made it to a truck stop, and man, I tell you what, Midland, Odessa, you are getting plastered. We got right now it's heading our direction, lightning like crazy, and heavy winds. And I'm unloaded now, right? I'm completely empty. So it's really having fun on this truck. I'm glad I'm parked beside a van truck who's probably blocking most of the wind, but I would not want to be out on the road in this stuff, not with an empty trailer. as hard as this wind, it'd probably take that trailer and flip me on over. Like a barn door. There's much more stuff, man. We got covered, man. While you're tweeting out to agitate the governor there. Hey, did you make that phone call?
Yeah, I tried, and I got the voicemail. So I didn't realize that Publishers Clearinghouse had a voicemail. That sounded kind of like an ordinary person saying they can't come to the phone right now.
Well, he missed that call.
I know. Here I was all ready, to get the MoneyGram and send that 409. I'm disappointed in this. I really am. Because I want my $1.5 million, and he better call me.
He was probably watching your Facebook page.
I'm really disappointed. I mean, that is so. If he calls me tomorrow, I'm gonna go off on him.
Yeah, tell him he has to give it to you for free now. Now tell him when he calls tomorrow that he has to pay for it now because he didn't answer your call when you called.
Yep. I wanted that money. I was expecting it. I had it all planned out. I even told Richard Costado that I would give him some of that money. To help him with his running. Yeah.
Also, news. Trump tweeted out, said that he has instructed Mike Pompeo to focus on South Africa.
Oh, yeah. And why? I mean, why are we getting involved in that? Because the whole thing's over the white guy's property's being taken away, right?
Yeah, Trump asked Mike Pompeo to look at South African land seizures and large-scale killing of farmers. So apparently they're killing the farmers too.
Oh, well, yeah, that would be a problem there.
Yeah, you can't kill white people and get away with it. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday he had asked Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to closely study the South Africa land and farm seizures and the killing of farmers there. I asked Secretary of State, and this is his tweet, to closely study South Africa land and farm seizures and explorations of large-scale killings of farmers. Expropriations.
Yeah, which has been that has been going on for a while now down there in South Africa, and it is bad. I mean, but I say, as far as this goes, United States, President Trump, we don't need to get involved in it.
Yeah, the president over there announced August 1st that the ruling African National Congress, which, y'all, that is, God dang it, I can't think of his name. The one that just died, the South African president over there that recently died.
Yeah,
but
I'm
everybody
not
was.
either.
Everybody was all, oh, he passed away. Oh, he was such. Well, he was a communist, people. Okay, quit worshiping communists. Anyways, this is his party that's doing it. Is doing this. Is forging ahead with plans to change the Constitution to allow the appropriations of land without compensation, as whites still own most of South Africa's land, more than 2 decades after the end of apartheid. Trump's tweet appeared to be a response to a Fox News report on Wednesday that focused on South Africa's land issue and murders of white farmers. Since the end of the apartheid in 1994, the ANC has followed a willing seller, willing buyer model under which government buys white-owned farms for redistribution to blacks. Progress has been slow. South Africa's state-owned land bank said on Monday a plan to allow the state to seize land without compensation could trigger defaults that could cost the government 41 billion rand, which is 2.8 billion, if the bank's rights as creditor are not protected. So
I say we stay out of that. There's I can't see any reason for us getting involved in their
Nelson
political
Mandela,
mess.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nelson Mandela. No, and this is all his party that's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
This is his party. This is his legacy. This is, I agree, get rid of apartheid, okay? I agree, get rid of the slavery and all that stuff, okay? But now what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
But I guess 2 wrongs make a right in the world nowadays. Yeah, I guess in today's world 2 wrongs make a right now.
Yeah, of course. Yep, you wrong me, then you need to then I need to wrong you. That's how it works.
Yeah.
It's called revenge. Oh man, we totally missed our trucking section.
Well, I guess we did. We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Yep, we did. Other than our little shaky
our break
startup. Yeah, we forgot our last break too. Luckily, the sponsors got mentioned, so we're clear on that. But like I said when we started, we first started, the start of the show kind of got a little messed up, but we solved the problem there. But like I said before, our Monday show, we're kind of like experimenting for a little bit here to see exactly what's going to work and the timing and everything. So we do ask that you guys bear with us as we go through this change. And we do plan on bringing back the interviews, which will be taking place on Mondays, where we'll have the guests. Actually, I shouldn't say interviews because some of them aren't just interviews. They're actually guests on our show. But we will have them back. We are being picked up by, as I've mentioned in our last show, we are being picked up by more podcasts. What they do is they take this show, which is aired live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and they turn them into podcasts for us to air for anyone who can't be on our show. Spreaker is our new one, and you can find them on our website, on our Facebook page, and I will post on our website, and on Twitter. We will be tweeting it out here shortly. But Spreaker is a real good one. That also allows you to download our podcast. So you can download it and save it and be able to listen to it offline. So if you missed this show, any part of the show, or want to hear any of our other shows, go to Spreaker.com, do a search for Political TNT, and you will find us there. And there will be more podcasts out there. Check our website at PTAT. That's Papa Tango Alpha Tango .show, or PTAT. And we will be on Wednesday. Wednesday's our next show, and it will be at a regular time at 9 a.m. or in military time 0900 Central Time. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
Where's our ending? Where's our ending? Where's our ending? Where's our ending?